Hello everyone, I'm Masahito MUROI from NTT. I'm glad to do this presentation in vBrownbag. And I'm appreciating for Rackspace, HP, and Cisco giving me this chance to present in the summit. So let's start my presentation. First of all, do you remember array? The array became a very famous word in OpenStack from the last summit. The phrase is, you can say when you encounter an unaccountable thing. It's a very, very useful phrase in Japanese. So for example, array, he who ought be in London is Atlanta. Oh, it's different. Anyway, let's start my presentation for OpenStack. These three arrays is already shown in OpenStack Summit. I've done the lightning talk at the last summit, and I've already shown this. First is Newton is liar. Second is Nova Labs network. Third, SYNDAP is Synda's error on client. If you want these arrays, if you are interested in these arrays, please check this video in YouTube. You can see the array of details of array. I have only 6 months from the last summit, so I focused to find the new array in OpenStack, only one project. So I'll show you a new array in OpenStack in this presentation, and next how we overcome this. So I have a few time to use the array in this presentation. The audience is in this room, and you watching this video, why don't you join my presentation? Okay, let's start. I'll show you a new array. The target of array is a heat. So I show you one thing of array in heat. What's that? This is heat is Mr. Know-it-all. What's that? Heat doesn't care about the resources in the stack until someone calls heat API. So heat always says, oh, I know, of course, resources in my stack is always in a perfect status. But the resources in the stack sometimes doesn't exist. I'll show you a quick example. User call heat stack create to heat, and of course, heat call create VM APIs to Nova, and Nova create VMs on hypervisor. After that, user can get VMs and stack, but unfortunately, heat doesn't check resources status forever after creating the stack. So if there is any crash in the hypervisor, and this VM is disappearance, user can't use this VM because heat doesn't know this VM disappears from the stack. So heat says this VM is active, but user can't use this VM on the crashed hypervisor. So it's a good chance to the well-known phrases in Japanese. Do you remember that? Please repeat after me. Let's say, okay, thank you. Thank you, your cooperation. Array, I can use the VM, but heat says this VM is active. Next, I'll show you how we overcome the heat weakness. The key point of overcome is 3: stack repairing, elastic stack, property check. We've already submitted these as blueprint in heat community. So if you are interested in this, please check my blueprint in HIT. Especially stack repairing is a key feature of overcome this. So I'll show you the overview of the stack repairing in this presentation. Let's start. Stack repairing has key points. First, creating new DBs that contain resources properties in the real world. Second, he'll check the real world properties and fix the resources if there were any differences. And he'd fix just when stack update is called from the client. It is one example. We assume that user calls this with this template. First, user calls stack create, and of course, hit insert template properties for template data table. And hit create a VM instance via Nova API and get instance properties as a result. After that, hit insert instance properties for resource data table. The table is our original. This is preparing for stack repairing. Next, I'll show you how hit update and recreate the VM. We assume that user called stack update with this template. This is not differences for this VMA. First, of course, user calls stack update and hit check whether any properties in template are changed or not. In this case, we assume that the resources, the properties in the template is not changed. After that, but he doesn't know the real world property is changed or not. So he'd call the VM details API and get VM properties in the real world. And after that, he'd compare the real world property with the stored properties in the table. After that, if there is any changes existed, update VM status matching to the template in the real world. Update VM status matching to property in the template. Of course, if the VM is disappeared, hit recreate the VM. Thank you for listening and watching my video. If you are interested in my solution, please contact me my email or IRC account. And the bottom of the list is a list of the bottom is a blueprint listing. Thank you.